and welcome. My name is Pamela Lambert with Keller Williams Realty in Plano, and I would love to take this time to introduce your 2021 guide to buying your next home. This is such a crazy market right now, and I have been having a lot of questions for my buyers because we are just in unprecedented times. So I put this little guide together to help answer some questions and how to get started in your real estate buying journey. So first, let's talk about the 2021 real estate market forecast. These are questions that I get every day. How's the market? A lot of buyers are a little bit fearful. Even sellers are a little bit fearful. They're concerned about the forbearances and if that's going to play a role in any foreclosures and interest rates going up, just lots and lots of questions. So let's see what the experts say. So 2021 housing forecast from Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, the Mortgage Bankers Association, and the National Association of Realtors all predict that the home prices are going to continue to appreciate throughout 2021. They are all predicting as well. Freddie Mac a little bit lower on forecasting that the home sales are going to continue to explode and rise up. You can see the different comparisons from 2020 to 2021. The National Association of Realtors is predicting 7 million homes sold, and this is nationally. Another concern is the interest rates. Now, we do have unprecedented low interest rates, and that is contributing to the buyer's craze that even though the housing prices are higher than 2020, the actual mortgage payments are a little bit lower because of the interest rates. And it is projected by all four of the experts that they will remain low within the 3%. Now, there are some programs that I've seen where it's been 3.5, so it's a little bit higher, but they are predicted to remain low. And you can just see, oh my goodness, can you imagine buying a house in the 1980s, 12.7% interest rate? Can you imagine the payment? Goodness. So now that we have the housing forecast and it looks like it's going to be prices are going to remain high and interest rates are going to remain low throughout 2021. Let's talk about financing your home. So this is the very first thing that you want to do is talk to a mortgage lender. Talk to them about the different loans that are out there. There are VA loans if you were in the military. There's USDA loans if the land or property qualifies for them. And on the outskirts of the DFW area, even some areas in Aubrey, Princeton, Salina do qualify for USDA loans. And those that means VA loans and USDA loans have a 0% down payment. So there's no down payment requirements, but you still have the closing cost. We also have a conventional loan, and I'm seeing conventional loans as low as 3% down. We're seeing a lot of conventional loans right now because those are the easiest loans to close. It has the least amount of hurdles, I should say, in this industry. So we want to look at what is your estimated closing costs, what are your not just down payment, but there's also closing costs that are about 2 to 5% of the home cost. That's your title insurance, lender fees, attorney fees. Those are all things that need to be considered out-of-pocket cost. You're also going to have appraisal cost as well. And I always recommend having an inspection. So that's going to be an upfront out-of-pocket cost as well. Ask your lender if there's special programs out there. There are first-time buyer home programs where you do have grants, and that will contribute to your closing cost. Those do have a little bit more of a higher interest rates, and you do have like a 4 to 6 hour class to take, but I say, take that class to 4 hours and save $10,000. That is totally worth it. And don't be afraid to shop around for lenders. Some lenders don't have those special programs, those first-time buyer programs or those grants. There's also single mom programs. There's lots of different programs out there. And then you want to look at the mortgage rates and what mortgage rate do you qualify for. They're going to take into consideration your credit score, your debt to income ratio, if you've ever missed any mortgage payments before. That's all going to contribute to the mortgage rates that you qualify for. And then also have bank statements, your W-2, pay stubs, debt and tax returns available to give to the lender to help pre-qualify. Now, once you are pre-qualified, or pre-approved, I should say, these are 6 things that you should not do because if you do, you may no longer qualify for that loan. Don't deposit large sums of cash into your bank before speaking to your lender. They have to trace the money. Now, and that's always hard because I'm a realtor and there's lots of 1099 self-employed people that receive those. Make sure you're able to tell the lender where those big cash deposits have come from. Don't make any large purchases without speaking to your lender. I know that furniture store, Nebraska Furniture, has 0% right now, and you feel like you just bought, you're going to buy a new home and you need new furniture for that home. Wait until after you close. Don't co-sign on any other loans because that is going to affect the debt to income ratio. Every loan, every purchase is considered a debt. Don't make any changes to your bank account. They are going to be asking for bank statements and they want to be able to track your assets. Don't apply for new credit cards. That's going to be the same exact thing. That's going to affect the debt to income ratio and it can lower your credit score, which you may not, if your credit score gets lower, then you may not qualify for those rates any longer. And then don't close any credit card accounts without speaking to your lender. This can have a negative impact and also lower your score. So these are the don'ts. Don't do any of these until after you sign the closing documents and have funded on your house. We don't want to get to the closing table and the lender says, oops, I just saw that you co-signed for your family member. You no longer qualify for this house. I'm so sorry. You cannot buy this house. We do not want that to happen. And we've seen it. One of the other things that I will add to this, but again, do not change jobs. Do not quit your job. Do not change any of those. Just don't make any changes at all. I mean, you can hold off for 30 days. You can do it. Okay, so I want to talk to you about the path to home ownership. There were a lot of different steps involved in going from the contract to closing, and I really want to go through all these because it's a lot that's going on, and there's a team of people in the background that are making sure all of these steps are happening. So speak to your lender, save for a down payment, know how much you need for closing costs, know your credit score, find a real estate agent, talk to me. I have lots of lenders that I work with. I know different programs that each lender has, and we want to find the best product for you and your payment and what you feel comfortable with. Get pre-approved. One of the things I would also add here, because this market is so crazy and there are a lot of bidding wars, if you are able to go through underwriting, I would highly recommend that as well. That means that not only are you pre-approved, but you've gone a step further where the lender has verified your income, verified your credit and your debt and your employment, and then they'll have a list of conditions that you need to meet in order to close on that loan. And that also shortens the closing time because it usually takes a week or two to go through the underwriting process. So you're able to submit a loan that shows that you've been underwritten, and that just makes your offer that much stronger. Then we're going to go house hunting, and in this market it's hard to find a house, but I do offer my dream home finder, where I will market to find sellers for you. It used to be where I had to market a house and find buyers, but in this market I'm actually having to find the sellers for my buyers. Then we're going to make an offer, and we're going to go through, I'm going to have a conversation with the listing agent. I'm going to find out what are the seller's needs and what is going to be the best offer for my buyers, for you as a buyer, and a win situation for the sellers as well. We're going to work with these people for at least 30 days, and we want to make sure that both sides of the transaction are happy. I highly, highly recommend getting a home inspection. I have a list of preferred vendors. They're going to come in, do a thorough check, go through the home inspection with you, and then we're going to look at the home inspection report. The home inspection costs around $500, and that is an upfront cost from the buyers. It's not required, but that $500 can save you tens of thousands of dollars. Potentially, if there was a huge problem with the house, the home inspector is going to find that, and it's going to be in the home inspection report. And that's something that will go into the next phase of negotiating repairs. So if something is found on the inspection report, then we can go back to the sellers and say, we're requesting to have either a repair credit, where they give you money to make those repairs once you move in, or we need to have these repairs done before we move in. Now, if you do have a VA loan or an FHA loan or a USDA loan, any of those government loans, they do have certain things that their appraiser will come in and do an inspection, and we have to make sure that those certain things are repaired before they will close on the loan and to move forward. One of the things is they require a termite inspection, and if they see any wood rot in the house, any foundation issues, anything like that, they are not going to close on the house, or they're going to have their own report and say these repairs have to be done before we close on this house. One thing also that comes next is we'll be getting the home appraisal. In this market now, that's actually going to be done right after we make the offer and it's accepted. We're going to talk to the lender, and we're going to have that lender order that appraisal right away. There is a shortage of appraisers, and there are so many houses under contract right now that they are backlogged. So we want to make sure that the home appraiser is ordered right when the offer is accepted and executed. The appraiser is going to come back, and we're going to make sure that that appraisal is what we offered. That is what we're praying and hoping for. And with this market, a lot of the home prices are going over. So we want to make sure that we stay within that appraisal range, or you as the buyer may have to come up with some extra cash to bring that loan amount down. We don't want that to happen, or the sellers and buyers can split the difference in that. So there's lots of different things that come into play when we're making an offer. Or there can even be, if it's a conventional loan and they are putting 20% down, I'm seeing some lenders waive the appraiser and accept the sales price. So that's where a good realtor comes into play. They know the market, they know the comps, they know the appraiser. I use the same exact software as an appraiser does. So we want to make sure that that number is lined up as the appraisers. Then you're going to get the clear to close from your lender, and That's 3 days later, 3 days before closing, you're going to get a closing disclosure from the title company and the lender, and you want to make sure that those numbers match up. The lender will go through those numbers with you and will answer any questions that you have. Once you sign all the papers and the lender sends the money to the title company, then you are funded and you can move in. Congratulations, it's closing day. We all love closing day. So as you see, there is a lot involved here. We have the realtors involved, we have the buyers, the sellers, the lenders, the processors, the underwriters. We also had the title company, and they're doing a title search, and they have their lawyers, and we're all working together to make sure that your house gets to the closing table. And that's what we work hard to do. And I make sure that I have constant communication with the lenders and constant communication with the title, and making sure that we stay on track, and it's like a well-oiled machine. So I talked a lot about a lot of these key terms, the appraisal, the closing costs, credit scores, down payment, mortgage rates, pre-approval. So one of the things that when we have a buyer consultation, I'm going to go through not just, what your dream home is, but what are your financial goals? What are your real estate goals? Are you looking to invest in a property and look at an area that 2 years later is going to make you $100,000 if you sold that house? Or are you looking to, this is your home that you're going to retire in? We're going to have those conversations. And we all have our dream home, but we also want to look at the future, because real estate is one of the biggest investments that we all make. And it's one of the biggest investments, and it's one of the amazing things that is available to give financial freedom to families. So we're going to have those conversations. So let's look at the checklist. This is the fun part now that we got through the financing. What kind of kitchen do you like? Do you want an island? Do you like granite? Do you like marble? Are walk-in pantries important to you? Bathrooms. I love a good master bath with Carrara marble and floating glass shelves. Let's look at the master bedroom. That's a huge plus too. We want a nice master bedroom. And additional features, what are some needs? Do you need a home office? Do you need a media room? Do we need a big fenced yard? Do we need a single story or a 2-story that has a master and another bedroom downstairs? After this winter, I think we all need a fireplace. Do we need a formal dining? I'm seeing a lot of new home builds that are leaving out the formal dining room, but I think that they are making a comeback. I love formal dining rooms. That's one of my favorites. So also, are there specific school districts or neighborhoods that you're looking for? I know we're having a lot of out-of-state people come in, and they're looking for maybe 55 or plus neighborhood, looking for schools that have great test scores, all kinds of different things. Some of the features that you just can't live without. One of the things I've heard is, we have to have fiber internet. I think when we're all working from home now, we need a good, strong internet and good Wi-Fi. Home office, that's one of the things. And now that a lot of people are home and they're not really liking the open concept as much. What are some deal breakers? Do you just cannot live on a corner lot? Power lines? Do you have to be on a golf course or a green belt? Just all these things that to think about, not just, how many bedrooms and baths and garages. There's lots of different things that make a house a home. So with this competitive market, I've also included in this buyer's guide what I think would be 4 things to help your offer be competitive. I've had to work with a lot of buyers lately. I've also worked on the selling side, so I've seen both sides of this market. And this is, I think, will just make your offer stand out. I've had to deal with clients in the heartbreak where they've had an amazing offer, and the listing agent even said it was an amazing offer, but the sellers ultimately choose who they want to move forward with and what offer they want to move forward with. So these are some things that can help your offer stand out. Number 1, and I discussed this before, get a pre-approval letter. We want to make sure that the pre-approval is very specific to that house. It has that you are pre-approved for this house. We have the address on there. We have today's date, the date that you are making the offer. And if you have already gone through the process of underwriting, I highly, highly recommend that. We're going to prepare that letter or have the lender prepare that letter. I'm also going to ask that lender to make a phone call to the listing agent to tell them how much of an amazing candidate you are for this home. And we're going to make sure that we're going to work together to get this transaction to closing. So pre-approval letter or even underwriting letter from the lender with today's date, with the address on there. Number 2, there's no room for negotiations really at this point. When you are making an offer, you're going to see on the MLS or on the description, please submit your highest and best offer by Monday by 5 p.m. So your highest and your best offer. So the highest and the highest offer is not always the best offer, and we'll go through that on the next one. But we are in a multiple offer, highly competitive market. The national average is 3 offers in July 2020. We're seeing 40 to 50 offers in the Plano, Frisco, Allen, McKinney area over list price. I think I've seen the highest is $105,000 over list price with a 60-day lease back. So it is a crazy, crazy market. So you definitely want to think about what is your highest and best offer and make that deadline and submit. If this was 2 years ago and a house was listed for $300,000, we may put in an offer depending on the comps and the comparables for $275, and they may counter back, and we may go back and forth. But in this offer, in this market, we want to submit our highest and best offer first by the deadline, and a lot of these houses are selling within 1 day. So if you are ready to buy, be prepared for the highest and best offer to be presented. Like I said, the highest offer is not always the best offer. So I am going to have that conversation with the listing agent and see what are the seller's needs. Do they need a seller's lease back? Do they need a quick closing? Do they need a new survey that needs to be purchased? Will they net more if the buyer, pay the title insurance or the home warranty? So those are all conversations that we're going to have and have that open communication with the listing agent. And we want to make sure that we're going to present the best offer, and we're going to help meet the needs of the seller. And therefore, you're going to make your offer stand out. They're going to know that you actually did your due diligence, spoke to the listing agent, followed the directions on how to submit an order, a contract. And, we understand that this is a stressful time for sellers and buyers, especially. So we want to make sure that we get through those and facilitate this transaction with the least amount of hurdles, and that it is a win-win for both sides in the transaction. My philosophy is intelligent people solve problems, but geniuses avoid problems. So we want to avoid any problems. And like I said, the highest offer is not always the best offer. So the best offer is the offer that has the highest probability of closing with the least amount of hurdles. So we want to make sure we have those conversations with the listing agent. And that's also going to show that, hey, we have open communication, we've already been in communication, and this is how the transaction is going to be for the next 30 days. And then they're going to want to work with you. They're going to say, yes, I want to work with these buyers because these buyers are prepared, they know what they're doing, and I just know that this is going to be the smoothest transaction. Let's get them to closing. And like I said, act fast. Houses are selling within one day. Some of them they have to put the highest and best deadlines on there because they're receiving so many offers. So if you need a house, if you are ready to buy a home now, act fast. We never want to put any pressure or rush you or make you have any buyer's remorse on this. And that is my job, to present to you all of the facts and the best decision. You make the best decision for you. So if you want to wait, if that's something that that you're able to do, then we can have that conversation as well. But in today's market, we definitely have to move fast. Right now, like I said, I'm having to find off-market properties coming soon, and I network with over 400 agents in my office, 17,000 agents in the whole state of Texas to find your dream home. So the bottom line is the housing market is very strong, and buyers are scooping up available homes faster than they're even coming on the market. If you're planning on purchasing a home this year, let's have that conversation about your real estate goals and learn more about your current area and when you're ready to compete and win those offers. So let's move on to the next service. So I touched a little bit on my Dream Finder services. That is where I am actually marketing to find sellers. A year ago, I had to market to find buyers for my listing, but in 2021, I am having to market to find sellers and find those homes. So I have lots of resources and softwares that I use that help find a specific neighborhood or school districts or homes with certain amenities, like I said, 55 or plus. And we want to make sure that it's a win-win for the buyers and sellers. Especially with COVID, there are still some home sellers that don't want a lot of people coming into their house. They don't want any open houses. So they can just have a limited amount of people coming into the home. It doesn't go on the market, and we go under contract right away and trying to make this as smooth as possible. So that is one of the services that I provide during this unprecedented market. So it's an amazing thing having to never in a million years that I think that I would have to market to find homes. The inventory is so low. The average, usually in a normal market, even in a seller's market, we have 3 to 6 months of inventory. And today's market, I think it's about 14 days of inventory on the market. Even new home builds, they're holding off on putting people under contract. There are waiting lists, there's lottery. So there's lots of different things that need to be navigated very gently and very precisely in this market. And that is what I'm here to do for you. So a little bit about me. now that we've talked about this 2021 market. I build my business on relationships. Everything that I do is from contribution. I'm here to help you. I always say that I am your realtor for life. I will be with you before, during, and after the transaction. I will be by your side, presenting you with the facts and information so that you can make the best decisions. I build relationships with my clients, lenders, title company, builders, vendors, lots of different things. And my business is built on referrals. Every transaction, over 98% of the transactions that I've done are friends of friends of friends, or family of friends, and all of past clients. So I'm about relationships with the listing agents as well. These are my colleagues. These are not my competitors. So I'm definitely going to have that open communication. And because of these relationships, I'm able to alleviate the stresses of low inventory and bidding wars and finding those off-market homes. Like I said, I network with a lot of people. And some people just prefer to work with someone that's going to have that communication with them and be open about what are the buyer's needs and what are the seller's needs, because a lot of people don't even ask those questions. I will be with you every step of the way. I am a systems person. I make lists for you, important dates. I have everything color coded. Like I said, I try to alleviate those hurdles and streamline the buying process with the backing of the #1 real estate company in America, Keller Williams Realty. Woohoo! So I am so glad that you have given me the chance to go through this 2021 buyer guide. I know a lot of you have a lot of questions. Please feel free to reach out to me. You can email me, text me, go to my website. I'll be happy to answer any questions that you may have. I hope that you enjoyed this presentation, and I hope to talk to you soon. Have an amazing day. Bye-bye.